Good morning. I am Dr. Guru Prakash, consultant cardiologist at Yashoda Hospital, Somajigoda. Today's topic is treatment of heart failure. See, heart failure is such a common problem. Nearly 15% of the cardiac OPD is with heart failure patients. The common symptoms for this, they have a breathlessness on exertion, fatigue, sometimes breathlessness on when they lie down, that's called orthopnea, PND, paroxysmal nocturnal dyspnea, and then they present with swelling of legs called pedal edema, sometimes giddiness. These are the various symptoms they present with. Once such people come, we see clinically for any abnormal heart sounds, pulse rate, and pedal edema, and then send them for further investigation, like basic investigation like hemoglobin, ECG, 2D echo, X-ray, and serum creatinine. So by these clinical examination and investigation, we will come to know whether the patient is in systolic heart failure or diastolic heart failure or heart failure with the preserved ejection fraction, and stage them into A, B, C, D. So basing on the symptoms, these are all technically this thing. So coming to the treatment aspect per se, class 1, 2 usually are treated by diuretics, ACE inhibitors, beta blockers, and statin antiplatelets. And before treatment, we should know the cause of heart failure. Is it really a myocardial pump dysfunction, or a ischemic thing, or a valvular related, or sometimes high output heart failures like anemia, thyroid, beriberi. So all these things should be excluded basing on the investigations. So once, suppose if it is ischemia related, we go for angiogram, treat the revascularize the patient either by angioplasty or bypass. Suppose in case it is not ischemic, it's purely a myocardial dysfunction like dilated cardiomyopathy or myocarditis, we usually treat with diuretic ACE inhibitor. Suppose if it is heart failure is due to valvular heart disease like mitral regurgitation or aortic regurgitation, we replace the valve or do some latest procedures like TAVI for aortic stenosis. These are the various treatment aspects. After basic treatment like diuretic ACE inhibitors, beta blockers, some people do come with recurrent symptoms of heart failure. So for these kind of people, we have a next level of therapy called CRTD, cardiac resynchronization therapy. So in this cardiac resynchronization therapy, what we do is there is a specific criteria for people who are suitable for this, like LBB, left bundle branch block, QRS with more than 150, or RBB with a QRS with more than 160. And then you go with a treatment called CRTD. This is a pacemaker where we keep 3 leads into the heart, one into the right atrium, one into the right ventricle, and then one is into coronary sinus, which faces the posterior side of the left ventricle. So in heart failure people where there is a LBB, significant LBB and QRS width duration, there is a cardiac dysynchrony. So cardiac dysynchrony means there will be atrial, ventricular and interventricular dysynchrony, where different parts of the heart will be contracting at different timings. So suppose right ventricle contracts at once, left ventricle contracts, and there will be a small gap in milliseconds, leading to a significant decrease in the cardiac output. Once we pace them and synchronize them properly and giving the effective output, once all the 3 parts of the heart contract at the same time, this leads to significant improvement in the heart pumping action. So we do it commonly in Yashoda Hospital, Somajigoda, where when CRTD is done, there will be significant 10 to 15% increase in the output. So thus 10 to 15% matters a lot to a heart failure patient. So next level of therapy after CRTD, suppose the patient does suit for a CRTD, then you need to go for a device therapy. So device therapy, again LVADs, left ventricular assist devices, there are HeartMate 3 Jarvik, and one more Medtronic this thing, where hardware. So where this kind of they are placed at the LV apex, they act. They suck the blood from the left atrium and then pump it to the aorta, completely bypassing the left ventricle. So overall, the left ventricular output increases, though the LV pumping action is low. For these kind of patients, the RV function should be normal. There should not be any valvular heart disease. Suppose RV function is normal, these cases do well with the, so we have done quite a few cases where longevity of the patient is very good and they do very well in the long term. The cost is a little on the higher side, but it has got a significant difference in the right patients. Of course, in the next level of therapy is going for a heart transplantation. Is a standard way where replace the non-functioning heart with a new heart, and we give immunosuppressant for first for a long duration, like up to 6 months, high dose steroids, then continue with mycophenolate and then tacrolimus for lifelong, and they do very well. It's a standard therapy, and 1 year output longevity is around 70 to 80%. These are the various modalities of treatment for heart failure, and patients should be aware of this. Thank you very much.